Welcome
to the joy of coding.
Hello and welcome to episode 441 of The Joy of Coding. My name is Mike Conley. It's so good to have you here. Going to be live hacking on some Firefox stuff. It's been a while. I have not been online I've been online, but I've not been streaming for the past month. When was the last time I streamed? May 13th. A confluence of events, some vacation time, plus unavoidable meetings, plus all kinds of things got in the way. But long story short, I have not been able to stream for a month, so I'm back. I'm excited to get back to what we were working on. Let's get started. Let me start by sharing my screen. Yes, June 17th, 2026, episode 441. A reminder, no plan survives breakfast. I think I know what I want to do today. I have a sort of a vague sense of how I want to approach it, but I don't know how it'll go. Things might get blocked or sidelined or go off the rails, and that's okay. We're just going to deal with it as it comes. That's the first thing. The second thing is that the agenda, if I've done my job right, the agenda is something that you have access to. Let me actually just check. Make sure that I've got the agenda hooked up right. Whoops, didn't mean to show that. Yeah, June 17th. Good. So, yeah, the agenda is something you have access to. If you're watching this on Air Mozilla, there should be a link to the agenda in the details section over there. If you're watching this on YouTube, it'll be down in the video description. If you're watching this on Twitch, it'll be down in the channel details. And as I update the agenda, this little spinny will spin, and if you reload the page, you'll get the latest stuff. Okay, so what's going on? Well, here's what I'm hoping to do today. First of all, I noticed a bunch of pull requests for the episode guide come in. I thought we could clear a bunch of those out. Special shout out to Smurf D. I'm not sure if you're watching this live or if you're watching the recording, but once again, Smurf D maintaining the episode guide, doing heroic work. We could do that. And then I thought we'd get back to the downloads sidebar. I have not worked on it, touched it, thought about it since we last worked on it back in May. So there's a little bit of catch up in my brain. I went through my notes here and I saw what we were doing. Yeah, we'll try again on May 27th. That didn't happen. And then I linked to a bunch of music, apparently. I'm hoping we can get back into factoring this stuff out and making the download panel stuff more reusable. So that's what I'm hoping to do today. Why delay? Let's get started. Let's start with his pull requests to the episode guide. So the episode guide, here's the repository, and we've got a bunch of pull requests here. All of these episodes came in, so we're gonna do them in order. They all came in yesterday. Shout out Smurf D. Added episode 432. So once again, this is pretty quick. I'm not reviewing code that's gonna like execute in a browser. Wow. Yes, I am. I'm not reviewing Firefox code here. I'm reviewing the episode guide code. So that means that I'm gonna be a little loosey-goosey and a little, fast. I'll be quick here, but this is mainly just for correctness on the episode guide. So on March 11th, it was episode 432. That looks right. That looks like the right short link. The link is correct there. And what do we talk about? I also got the episode guide up to date. And then we talked about the remote renderer for NewTab, which is currently in dry dock while we figure out what to do with it. But we worked on that a little bit. And then I think I fixed this. I fixed posting episode 423 to YouTube. And that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and approve. Thank you. Submit review, and we'll go ahead and merge that in. Merge. And that's one. Let's do the next one, 433. That one was March 18th, episode 433. And let's see. March 18th, 433. That looks right. There was no Keanu code. I talked about the QR code sharing mechanism, which I believe is currently on by default in Nightly, and it's on for Mac OS, Windows, and Linux users now. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, if you go to the if you like right click on a tab and go to like share, there should be something about generating a QR code, and now you'll get one of these things. And that should be enabled by default and nightly on Mac OS, Linux, and Windows now. And I believe the plan is to uplift the enablement to 153. We just shipped 152 to release. Oh man, time's flying. So 154 is currently on nightly. I forgot 153 is the next ESR. Oh boy. I did not realize that. So 153 contains a bunch of stuff. I don't know if we'd uplift it to the 153 ASR, but we might uplift it to beta itself. Maybe we'd uplift it to the ESR. I'm not sure, but it's on by default in nightly. You can try it out. Let me know if there are bugs, and I'll get them filed for you. Okay, so we talked about QR code, more pull requests. I made it public. Yeah, episode 419 available. Let's look at the patches in here. I filed a bug about vertical tabs and DevTools zoom level, and then worked on this bug here. That looks great. I'm going to approve the patch, and then I'm going to say thank you because I forgot to do it in the review. Thanks. Merge pull request. Confirm merge. Say thanks. Done. Next. 434. That is blast from the past. March 25th, 434. That looks right. Yes. We did more remote renderer stuff. We talked about kit wallpapers. Oh! And I answered this question. And we were talking about like AI and stuff. Okay, that looks fine. So submit, review, approve. I want to shout out, I mean, you may already know this if you're using Nightly or if you're using Release and you care about the World Cup. We've got this like World Cup widget now, and we've got these widgets enabled by default, which is kind of nice. And there's like the ability to add some more, like there's a timer and list widget here. And yeah, there's all this like interesting stuff. If you care about the World Cup, we've got some World Cup stuff for you. Pew, pew, pew. All right, let us keep going. So that one was 434. What's next? 435, of course. And that was April. Back in April Fool's Day, 435. I don't think I did anything special for April Fool's Day. I don't really like to do stuff for April Fool's Day. We talked about Nova Retheme. If you've noticed, the Nova Retheme is really starting to shape up. Still not on by default, but you can turn it on in Nightly. I believe these are the prefs. We've shipped the Nova sort of like styles on new tab. So you get the curved search input, and you get the purple styling on the customize button, and like all of the toggles here are kind of, they got that purple treatment. Or is it purple or is it like lavender? I don't know. But that's on by default. And then I did some reviews, and we started exploring the download sidebar back in April. Oh man, blast from the past. So we'll go ahead and approve. And we'll merge. Good. Next. Was merged now, so that should be closed. That was merged. Close it. Okay, so now it's apparently closed. So 436. We're almost halfway through. I think this is going to take us to halfway point. So April 8th. That was episode 436. April 8th, 436. Yes. And we were doing a reland. We kept working on the download sidebar. Yep, sounds good. So it's been the download sidebar since May. Again, I'm not working on it outside of these streams, so that's why it's taking so long. It's like the jump list stuff where, it's going to take a while because I have to like ramp up each time, and I'm not doing concentrated bursts. I'm just working on it during the stream. So just FYI. Oh, this one's already merged. 436. I just did that one. It's 437. We're almost through, gang. Excuse me. 437 episode. 437. It was April 15th. Yep. Yep. Worked on the sidebar. We were talking a little bit about how we'd factor it, and approaches. I actually have an interesting idea. So one of the things that I was kind of worried about was center cropping. So center cropping is something that we need for the for long file names, so that in the downloads item, whenever you're looking at a long file name, that you need to be able to see the very beginning of the file name, and ideally definitely you need to be able to see the very end of the file name, because that's where the file extension is, so that you can be sure that it's the type that you expect, or at least it says in the file name that's the type that you expect. And that's very important, because you don't want to accidentally make it so that it can be spoofed, and people are like looking like they're opening up a text file, and it turns out because of a specially crafted file name, they're actually opening it up in an executable or something. Now, the operating system will probably protect you, and Firefox will know this is an executable and protect you, but like, it's not a good look if we make that too easy. So we need to be able to see the end of the file name. We talked a little bit about the 150 release notes. We turned on backup. Yes, backup is enabled by default on Windows and Linux. I think it's currently off by default on Mac OS, because we have to deal with some permissions issues. And I answered this question: where are those spans going? We answered that, and I think we figured it out. We figured out that bug. What was going on in that episode? Thanks. Almost through. 439. 439 was May 6th. Yes, missed the submission window. Okay, so I answered this person's question. We're talking about Moz regression, and we solved the mystery about the spans. Oh, this was the episode where we solved the mystery about the spans. Great. Yeah. I'm not even going to look that closely. I'm just going to say thank you. And comment. And that's it. And last but not least, episode 440 was May 13th. Yeah. It's the one just before this one. This was the most recent episode. And what we did was I talked about center crop. And this is what I'm hoping we can look at next. We talked a little bit about how we wanted to factor things, and then I linked to some music. Okay, so speaking of new music, I'm really into this band. I don't know if anyone cares about music who's watching this, but I'm really into this band right now called Black Country New Road. And they're playing in Toronto tonight, and I'm really excited about them. I don't know why. I love their music. I can't explain. It's just one of those things. You can't explain it. It's magnets. How do they work? Okay, so all of that's done. We're going to go ahead and... oh, Smurf D, you going to watch them live? I might. That's my plan. I'm a big fan of their music. I've seen videos of them playing live. And they seem like very good musicians. Yeah, I'm excited. If you're not familiar with them, check them out. It might not be your cup of tea. That's okay. Yeah. All right. So, what are we talking about with Zool cropping? Cropping. So, center crop. So, the idea being that, like, again, we need to be able to show a text node, but be able to center crop with an ellipsis so that you can see the very beginning and the very end. And that's not actually possible without script right now in like normal JavaScript, which sounds crazy, but it's actually a lot harder than you'd think to do proper center cropping, especially when you consider things like Unicode encodings, emojis, languages where how you center crop is really going to change things. Like what about vertical text, and what about, like, it's not as simple as you'd think. The simplest case is like Latin languages like English, where it's like, okay, you find the center point and then you like get rid of the characters and you put ellipsis there. But that is the simple case, and you can't just Well, I say you can't just do the simple case, except that is exactly what Zool Label does. Zool Label does the simple thing, and so it's kind of broken for those kind of more exotic cases, which is why center cropping has not been exposed as a feature to the web at large. It's okay that we're going to expose this, or it's okay that Zool does this because it's just for the UI and is for areas that we control. And in our case, the center cropping is really only used for file names, where you're already going to have a problem if you're doing something very exotic with file names. The file system will probably freak out at you anyways. So I think we're okay. The security benefits of doing the center cropping, I think, outweigh the concerns. So here's what we're gonna do. I am going to, well, I want to actually test something. So before we try to like re-implement center cropping for Moz labels, I want to test an assumption, and that assumption is that Zool labels will not work in Storybook or in HTML documents. That is the assumption, is that they won't work. I think that's true. I think that is true, but I want to verify that. So let's go ahead and launch Storybook. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it so that a label. I'm going to change this label, Moz label. Oh, it's using label is Moz label. That's interesting. Now, if I turn this into a Zool label, and then if I do, I'm going to get rid of the text content. And then I'm going to do value. I'm going to say value equals test. Set attribute crop center. Yeah, like this isn't working at all. I would expect a Zool label to show up here. And what about in the sidebar? Like if we, I'm gonna shut down Storybook. I'm gonna rebase. Where's our downloads panel? Here's all our hackery. Rebase. Conflicts. What are our conflicts here? JJ new WLN. In sidebar def, oh, there's some string conflicts. Okay. So this should be fairly innocuous. Conflict 1. So someone added an open tabs one. We're gonna also add ours. It's just additive. Oh, here's the other conflict. More open tabs. And then we'll add ours below. Okay. Any other conflicts? No. Okay. So we'll go ahead and squash that in. And we have one more conflict inside of browser.js. Oh yeah, I did not like this. I might not do this anymore. This download element shell hackery. I do not like this at all. If I, yeah, what was I doing? I was trying to turn it, did I turn it into a class? Yeah, I'm gonna leave. I'm not gonna do that for now. I might end up redoing some of this. Oh, yeah, look at this. Okay. Let's not worry about rebasing that right now. And instead, we are going to build this. I'm not going to deconflict it right now. We're going to load the downloads sidebar. Sidebar downloads. And what I'm going to put in here, download source, and I'm going to put as well along with that thing, I'm going to put a Zool label, value equals test123. That is going to be our test. Okay, what are we doing here? Compiling a bunch of Rust. Why? Why? You still need Zool for the labels? I hope not. I'm guessing you joined late, Danny Colin. The only reason I would want to do this is if it works, then we don't have to re-implement center cropping. We can move on. But if this doesn't work, then I have to implement center cropping for Moz label somehow. And like, let's open up Moz label real quick. So it's an HTML label element, and then there's a setter on text content. Okay. And then we'll want to look at the value. We'll need the value because like there's the, it's kind of sloppy, but here's what we're gonna do. You got this mixture, this element has this weird mixture of, it's got one value in it, but it has two representations, the one without the truncation and or one without cropping and one with. So the value is going to be without cropping, and then whenever you are cropping, the text content will be the text. Well, I guess if we're cropping, we should always just return. We should always just return. We should always just return the value if value is set. Yeah. What part of Zool are we still using that doesn't have an HTML replacement? I see a couple places where VBox thingy, but I recall correctly, you use regular Flexbox now. Yeah, like all of the layout, like VBox, HBox, that is all doable now with CSS Flexbox, regular Flexbox. Center cropping is one place that there's no web equivalent. Like you have to hack something together with JavaScript. And there are a couple of other things, like panels are not, there's no HTML equivalent for like panels that can float outside of your document, very intentionally so. That's a very, like, we wouldn't want to expose something like that to the web, so there's not really an HTML equivalent to Zool panel. And like Zool window, no equivalent to that, same difference, and there probably never will be. And we're still using Zool trees in a couple of different places, but those will hopefully be dead soon. But that's mostly it. Zool is it's for the birds. It's for the birds. Okay, so downloads. Let's turn on the sidebar. Turn on the downloads sidebar. And then let's download something. Or hang on a second. I would have expected something to show up there. Why is the problem? Sidebar downloads. There's just nothing in it because why? Because this is invalid HTML. That could be. Let's see if I hot reload. What is that? Jeez, come on, reload, restart. Okay, so that's just empty in general. Okay, well then what if I download an image? So actually just fully not working in general. Why not? Why not? Sidebar panel header. Sidebar downloads exist. Oops. We're not even entering the render method here. Don't even load it. So what loads? What's supposed to be loading? Sidebar downloads. I can't remember now. It's been so long. JJ's or browser git grep sidebar downloads.mjs here. So sidebar downloads.html. We're going to make sure that that loads. Maybe we'll try loading it outside of the sidebar at first. Our bookmarks. Okay, so now downloads.html. Okay, nothing. This page is, there's a blocked a script from being executed because it's, oh, downloads probably got moved to Moz source is what happened. That's, I think, what's broken us recently is someone migrated these to Moz source. Oh, no, that happened back in August. But at any rate, that's the primary problem, I think, is that we're failing to load. So it does load this, does load that, but the actual CSP is not allowing us to load Moz source. Now, what are the other, like sidebar history? It's also not loading Moz source. header, browser components, sidebar. Sidebar bookmarks.mjs. The way it imports it. Only from system modules. I see. That's your complaint. Okay, so then we have to do it the old-fashioned way. Is this what you want? Oh, I was already doing that for downloads common down here. Downloads view UI isn't even being used here, so that was like a leftover. I think I've got a bunch of leftover. I have a feeling I left this in a broken state is what happened. I was like doing a bunch of hackery, trying to make stuff show up. Okay, here we go. Downloads. Now, instead of doing this silly thing of putting a label here, I'm just going to put it under the search. I can go... why do I have a close on a Moz button here? Seems unnecessary. And then I'll go Zool label value equals test123 Zool label. Did I do it? Maybe I'll just edit this. Yeah, has no idea what I'm talking about. Descendants are preserved. Unsafe node. Yeah, I don't think it can be done. Let's try one more time though. It's just not happening. It's not hip hop happening, gang. Okay, so we're gonna. I think it's safe to say that Moz Zool labels do not work. Let me just do one last check. I'm gonna do this with a mock build faster, and I'm also gonna put like test 1 2 3 above, test 1 2 3 below, and I'll do a mock build faster. And I would expect to see those strings, and I would hope there to be a Zool label node in between, but I will wager heavily that hang on a second, I have to send someone a message. Yeah, test 1 2 3 above, test 1 2 3 below. Bet you there's no... Oh, there is a Zool label, but we don't see it. We don't see it. Like crop center. Yeah, it just doesn't function. This is not a... Yeah, it's no good. Is no bueno. Now, if this was an HTML, XHTML document, maybe we could do it, but this is an HTML document. Zool is not allowed. So we're gonna have to do the sort of the awkward thing. Now the good news is that I got a little bit of guidance from... It hasn't been that long since the last episode. Wait, hold on a second. I'm reading. What part of Zool are we still using that doesn't yet? I've seen a couple places to review. AI viewers, streamboo.com. Please get rid of the spammer. Thunderbirds are also moving away from it. Yeah, Thunderbird doing a great job of moving away from Zool. To build the... Sorry, I got distracted with some conversation. Someone wants to see evidence of try push. Hold on. Just answering questions. Okay, so how are we gonna approach this? Yeah, sorry, Smurf D. I've not been paying much attention to the chat. I should be paying more attention now. I'm out of practice, gang. I'm out of practice. So, what is the plan? No, cannot use a Zool label in HTML documents as suspected. So we're gonna re-implement Zool style center cropping for Moz label. And so the rules will be must have value and crop equals center set to work. Setting text content directly will forward to value. Getting and saying will forward directly to value in this configuration. And multiple text nodes is not allowed in this configuration. And will warn bail out of cropping. Text child nodes. So Moz label. So this thing is already a label element. We're going to be wiring this up to the label element. But we've got our special like identification as a Zool, not Zool, a Moz label. Oh, how do we best identify ourselves in this way? How do we tell the underlying platform that it's us? Extends HTML label element. An HTML label element wonder if we can put a Chrome only on it and be like enable cropping, enable center cropping. Okay, that might be one way of doing it. And then the layout team was talking to me about, they gave me some links to the code. So in the CSS frame constructor, we have an element. And then we use S middle cropping data. We use a middle cropping label frame. And that is happening. What calls that? We're going to trace this out a little bit. Find Zool tag data. Simple tag chain. If you were a label, then you do this. Okay. So in the HTML label element, sorry, I'm just waiting on some feedback there. All right, here's the HTML label element. We can wrap the node with the binding. Get control for bindings focused. Post handle event. Form access key. Get first labelable descendant. We're going to get our children. And then here, middle cropping data, frame construction data. New middle cropping label frame. Update displayed value to uncropped value. Uncropped value is to just get the middle cropping frame. Middle cropping label frame. That's not too interesting, eh? Update displayed value. Oh, middle cropping block frame. Okay, that's under layout generic. Well, that's good. Crop text to width. This is the magic. This is the stuff. Middle cropping block frame, and that's coming from middle cropping a label frame. So then here, do we have anything that's about like a frame? Get primary frame. NSI frame is focusable if we're focusable. When we focus. Interesting, interesting. Okay, I gotta fix something real quick. I gotta update this, and then I have to do this rapidly. Okay, so let me shift slightly, new to NLR. We're going to rejig this. Fix, which lets us notice for retranslation issues where page finished. Okay. Squash. QTT. All right, and then we are going to mark that done. And then we are going to submit update based on review feedback. Okay, and then we will change project tags, testing, mainly tested manually. Okay. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and reviewed, all clear. All right, let us get back to what we were doing. OMP. So how do I hook into, it's not too hard, you basically need to hook it in here. Zool label guarantees that we'll have one text node. Expose that to random code allows you to put whatever there, but that should be okay. The question would be whether you want to make it something specific to an element in particular, or expose it as a magic display value or so, or a different property. So what we do, how do we, are there other examples of us doing CSS frame constructory things, frame construction data, for example, on HTML elements that I can model this after? Let's see. HTML label element lives under DOM HTML. So do we have anything like that under? Oh, that's not a good sign. That is not a good sign. Oh, sorry. How about CSS frame constructor? So the way things are done in HTML land is a little different. You have a binding. And maybe the binding, oh, the binding is generated, so that's no good. Let's do something a little richer. Where do we like connect this with what is drawn? Frame. Maybe that's what I want to be looking at. DOM, HTML, and the word frame. Display items. What is this? Canvas. Oof, too complicated. I want something simpler. Form element. No, embed element. Frame set element. Frame. iframe. Image element. To do query frame on the primary frame, which which is on NSI content. So we are in NSI content. When you are an HTML image element, you implement generic HTML element. Generic HTML element implements base. Generic HTML element base. Sorry, where is the definition of base? Is NS styled element, which is styled element. Styled element base is DOM element. DOM element. Maybe this is where we get our frame constructor. No. DOM base and range. Okay. What is this giving us? Frame constructor. This class. Anything else? Oh, big old class. And the reason I wanted frame constructor is because I wanted ultimately frame construction data is what I want. Frame construction data and anything under DOM base that does that. No, eh? So who does use frame construction data? Frame constructor. Well, maybe this is where I hook it in. This is like there's a relationship here. Is there anything in here about, so Zool label is in here, and it's going to attach Zool labels to that. Now what about HTML labels? Label. Or Moz label content. Type Moz label content. Type ungenerate. No, I don't think that's right. Combo box label. So there's Zool tag data. Is there HTML tag data? Find element tag data. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. So I wonder if we need to hook up label. Simple tag chain. Tag. Where did I get to just now? Simple tag chain. Find HTML data. Right. Okay. This is the important part, I think. Otherwise, find data by tag. Interesting. Simple tag chain. do anything for label? Oh. Oh, no, wait. Hold on. This is for Zool again. We're back down to Zool. Do we do anything for label? Base. DOM. HTML. HTML label element. Content list. Import. Element clone. I'm learning a lot here. Let's see let's just mess around. Let's just mess around a little. Let's go ahead and add label to this list and see if it even compiles. So NSCSS frame constructor. And we're going to say shtml data, simple tag chain. And what do we do? Let's duplicate this because there's one for label for Zool. And we're going to do it for HTML as well. Find Zool label or description data. And what that's going to do is it's going to make sure that we have a value, crop, and then we pass that along. Maybe that's all we need. Maybe that's all we needed to do. Maybe that's it. I doubt it, but let's find out. Just joining in, says J Matrix. What are you working on? Great question. I am trying to get center cropping for Zool labels working in HTML elements. I'm not a platform or layout hacker, but I am getting some pointers from our layout team. But the reason I want this is because I'm trying to port our downloads UI to HTML so we can use it in the sidebar. And one of the things you need whenever you are showing file names, which is what a downloads panel should do of the files that you've downloaded, is be able to show you both the beginning and the end of the file name, even if they're long file names, which means cropping long file names in the middle and showing an ellipsis instead. And there is a mechanism for doing that with Zool. No such mechanism exists in HTML. You can sort of hand roll your own solution with JavaScript, but I'd rather reuse the sort of battle-tested one. Okay, so I've done that without any protection. Like, I don't think there is a check to see whether or not we're doing privileged documents here. So this might just work for labels. Let L equals document create element label. Document by append child L and L dot text content equals hello. Can you hear me? 1 2 3 4 5 6. And so at the bottom there should be a label. Oh, there it's not. Oh, it's kind of gross. Gross. But there it is. And now I'm going to do L dot text content equals nothing. But L dot value equals, or L dot set attribute value L dot set attribute crop center L. L dot value L. Why are you 0, 0. That's why you're 0, 0, 0. You're ignoring my directive. Okay, let's look more closely at what we just did. We said simple tag create. What I'm gonna do, we're gonna remove from the DOM L text content equals blank. Let's go to a simpler page. Let's go to about blank. Where are we? What process? We're in process 38681. I'm gonna set up our debugger. Does that work? Yeah, okay. Attach, and then we're going to attach to 38681. And we are going to set a breakpoint on that symbol. We're going to see if we're even hitting it. Okay. So continue. Now I will create an element label. Haven't hit our breakpoint yet. L.setAttribute crop center. L.setAttribute value test123 document.body append child L. Aha! We have hit our breakpoint. So it is hooking it up. This is good. And it's doing some optimized stuff. So we are getting our attribute we're checking to see if we have value. You know, it'd be simpler if we had a debug build because a lot of the stuff wouldn't be optimized out, but would fall through anyways. So it was true. Then we're going to see if we are having crop center. And we bail out. We bail out. So crop is, even though I have set crop to center, this check is failing. Attribute value is namespace ID null. Attribute value is GK Adams center, crop center, and case matters. Well, we're gonna do some printf debugging. I did not find value attribute. Printf did not find crop equals center. Printf okay, attempting center crop. Okay, and then we're going to detach. Oh, I didn't necessarily have to quit. Mock build binaries. Let's rerun. So somehow we're failing this check here. GK Adams crop is center. Maybe there's only a certain set of attributes that are like, where is this? Is this like registered somewhere? Change int crop. What attributes does label have? Any special attributes? 4. So is there something like, ooh, no. DOM, HTML. Okay. So we're back in the car again. We're going to go about blank 41786. Okay. And we're going to attach 4876. What? 41786. And I should have prepared a debug build. Oh well. Okay. So we're gonna construct our let L equals new document create element label L dot set attribute value test 1 2 3 L dot set attribute crop to center document body pen child L. Now I'm gonna do that, and we hit our breakpoint. I'm going to hit continue, and it says in the console, okay, attempting center crop. It attempted it. Let's do that again. L.remove document body pen child. Let's try it again. Create element. Set value, set crop, pen child. See, why aren't we doing it again? Oh, because I keep hitting my breakpoint. Detach, disable 1. Break, disable 1. That's what's going on. Okay, attempting center crop. Remove. Pen child. Okay, so we are doing it. We are attempting the center crop. So we get the middle cropping frame, but I don't see you. Oh, there you are. Yes, there you are. You're just really dark. Hold on, gang. Let us color white, max width 20 pixels. 150 pixels, and now L dot set attribute value. This is a very long string. What are you going to do about it? Oh, oh, oh. Soundboard time.
Oh, yeah.
What happened? All right, so that's good. Now, unfortunately, we've done the bad thing, which is that we have exposed this to the web. We do not want that. We do not want to expose this to the web. We only want this to be applied if and only if we are in a privileged document. So how do I check that? And how do we opt in? And what happens if I say like l.textcontent equals foo? So it's ignored. Okay. Okay. So that's fine. l.textcontent. Yeah, it's ignored. And maybe that's fine for now. So maybe we just need to restrict this. What's the best way to restrict this kind of thing to privileged documents? Well, we've got something kind of similarly restricted, which is context properties. Moz context properties. So do we have in our Rust stuff? Not quite. It's more like there are like these are attributes that we only pay attention to in privileged documents. What are attributes that we only pay attention to in privileged documents? You can even let the web access your USB devices now. Are you serious? No. We have not implemented Web USB. No, we have not done that. So I've done this part. How do I put the guard in place? Meter, canvas. Canvas seems like there'd be attributes that are privileged only. Canvas element. Moz opaque. I mean, having non-standard attributes that we pay attention to is very strange on HTML elements. But let's see if we can sniff out any pre-existing caller type on set value. We get the caller type. That's not quite right, because when we do this, I don't think we get caller type. We are simply doing simple tag chain. Simple tag chain is mapping a tag to frame constructor data function. Frame constructor data. Anonymous box. Oh, you know what? I know of one. Moz browser. Dumb. iframe Moz browser. We only pay attention to that in privilege. Expecting storage DB updater. Come on. Browser parent. Moz browser. Global outer window. Frame loader. How do we check for Moz browser? This is wrong for Moz browser. Is isolated Moz browser. did we get? Page URL. Test page. I think we may have gotten rid of Moz Browser, but I'll bet you I can find old code that still has it. ESR, let's say 68. DOM, base, element. So it would have been under iframe. iframe element. Set HTML bool element, allow. Moz Browser, allow. And then how did we ensure that that was only allowed for privileged pages? After set attribute, we check to see if principal allows browser frame. Principal allows browser frame. Permission manager, allow action. Do we have something that's like privileged? Principal system. If document principal is system principal. So that's the question. Who's the principal? So, let me, like, document principal, node principal is system principal, true. For new tab, document node principal. Who is the principal? Selected browser, node content principal is system principal. False. 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 How do we say that? How do we know whether or not you've got elevated privileges? New tab doesn't really have elevated privileges. It's more like, are you running in the privileged content process? Privileged about DOM Chrome utils. Check allow load. That's kind of interesting. Check allow. the content parent. Oh, what am I talking about? This doesn't need to be in the content process. This just needs to be... What am I talking about? I keep thinking about new tab. What am I talking about? We need to test whether or not the sidebars document principal is the system principal. And I'll bet you it is, in which case, job's done. What are we doing? Document global node principal is system principal. Yes, okay, let's go. That's it. Okay, so then we just need whoa, why are you doing that? Why are you formatting it that way? Okay, is system principal. Do we get the document element? We have the element. I guess we just need to check to see if the element is the system principal. Subject principal. Element. Node principal. If principal is not the system principal, then we bail out. And then we're going to get rid of these. Okay. Build binaries. And if this works, I think that's a great note to end the episode on. If I can get center cropping oh, return null. If I can get center cropping showing up inside of the sidebar, but it doesn't work on the web, we're in great shape. We're in great shape. Now, I don't know whether or not Layout is going to be happy with this patch, but I can, at the very least, post it as sort of a starting point of a conversation, and then maybe by the time next week rolls around, we can see where that conversation got to. So here's what I'm going to do. In here, sidebar downloads, scrollable content, sidebar panel header. Let's put inside a label, value equals test 1 2 3 4 5 6 blah, 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 blah. Crop equals center. But it's not showing up. Oh, I said crop equals center. Now what's your node principal? Is system principal true? So we should have done that thing. Text content equals test. Uh-oh. This is not working now. If I go about blank here. Crop center. Color Still, unfortunately. Oh, max width. So it's wrapping. Okay. If I get rid of crop center. Oh, it's naturally doing that. Okay. So I think we're getting what we want. Where we don't have the single line. But here, we aren't getting what we want. Label value. You are definitely running in process, I think. Parent process. Remote type null. Yeah, okay, so what's the parent process ID? 45783. Then we are going to set a breakpoint there. And then we'll do label let L equals that. L dot parent element P equals L parent element. Okay. Oh, we're not going to be doing any logging. We're going to be breakpointing. Okay, so L dot remove P dot append child L. Okay, so we do hit our breakpoint. Get the document principal. We're going to see, is it the system principal? Oh, let's do it again. Let's do it again. Okay. Next. Is it the system principal? I think we bail out. I think what's happening is we're doing this wrong. We should see if the documents that we're in is part of the system principal. Can attach shadow DOM. Okay, I want to wrap up here, but here's what I'm going to do. I'll go ahead and quit, attach, quit. Gonna get rid of this for now. Let's just prove that we can get this center cropping showing up inside of our sidebar downloads. Label value. This is a very long label. What are you going to do? Crop center label. Okay, and now we're going to build. Let's just make sure that that works, and then we'll put in the guard next time. Or maybe I'll talk to the DOM team. Maybe I'll do that little part outside of the or I'll talk to the layout team. Maybe I'll do that part outside of the stream. But I gotta cap it sometime. Also, I'm running out of steam. It's been a while since I've streamed. My throat's getting a little tired. Fallen by the wayside. My stamina has taken a beating from this month away from streaming. What are you gonna do? And now I'm going to set width 150px. No, not working for some reason. Oh, get rid of that. Why is that there? Width, max width? Maybe it's supposed to be max width. Wrapping mode, text wrap, none, no wrap. There it is. There it is. That's the key. That's the ticket. So it's working. Yay! Okay, so now we just need to maybe what I had with the principal is correct, but we'll see. We'll find out. I'll give you updates. Hey, thank you so much for watching episode 441 of The Joy of Coding. Let me know what you thought. There's a link here to rate this episode. Here at the bottom of the agenda, I'll go ahead and drop that in the chat as well. Rate this episode link, and you can let me know what you thought. I read everything that comes in. I really appreciate the feedback, and we will see you hopefully next week. Hopefully there won't be any more delays with episodes. Thanks again, everybody. I hope you have yourselves a great week, and I will see you next time. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
The joy of coding.
See ya.